3 lesser known kitchen remedies for pain, inflammation, even allergies.
Are you looking to learn more about natural pet health and wellness? You've come to the right place. Click the link to subscribe to Veterinary Secrets.
These are ingredients, they're probably in your kitchen right now and they could really help your dog or cat. Right, Poodle? Ugh. Your pet's in pain. Maybe they have a wound you want to heal. Like, what's the first thing we usually do? You know, we're grabbing some conventional pill, some conventional cream. Like, seldom do we think of the all natural, completely wholesome ingredients in our kitchen. Maybe because they're considered alternative, they're folk remedies. Or perhaps we've just been marketed to so much, we just don't think they can even work. Turns out that's not actually true, and so many of these old holistic natural remedies, they're now being studied and we're seeing some really big benefits for our dogs and cats. Number 1, the lowly potato. Potatoes are actually a rich source of many compounds, including vitamin C, polyphenols, flavonoids, zinc. Obviously, they have a very high carb content. We think of them as starchy vegetable, of which they are. But there's so many other things within the potato. One fairly recent study, it looked at applying topical potato peel extract for wound healing and inflammation. They found that a 4 to 6% potato peel extract gel, it resulted in a marked increase in the rate of wound healing. It increased fibroblast and collagen synthesis, and that's a key component of accelerating wound healing. How would you use it, you may be wondering? Well, here we have is our inexpensive, 20-cent potato. We are going to cut ourselves a slice of potato. Here's a good thick slab, something I might even fry up and use with my eggs and bacon. Potato slice. Next, I want you to roll it or crush it. I'm just using a rolling pin, just trying to crush the edges here. So what we're trying to do is break up the inner pulp of this potato along with the peel. I'm going to release some of those wound healing anti-inflammatory ingredients. If you look closely, you can now see that it's moist, it's almost glistening and shiny. It's starting to ooze out some of those flavonoids, polyphenols, the enzymes, vitamin C, etc. This is how you're going to be applying it topically. Tula, she has this kind of chronic ongoing wound in her right nostril. So I'm just going to apply the potato peel topically over top of that wound. Look at that. I'm going to see if topical potato peel can speed the healing. You want to leave it on long enough so it's going to actually have an effect. So see if you can leave it on there for like 1 to 2 minutes. Ideally, acute wound healing, we're going to be applying that 4 times a day, then moving that to twice a day as we start to see some of the wound healing. So what do you think? Topical potato, Tula. And this thing is darn inexpensive. Good option. Number 2, our second underappreciated kitchen food. This is none other than cabbage. I just consumed a whole bunch of this last night for a stir fry. And while I'm eating it, I'm like, okay, we need to talk about some of the medicinal benefits. Cabbage, it's been used for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Topically, in particular, it's being used for mastitis. Specifically, this is for people. It's considered this alternative remedy. But since it sort of moved past that, and there's now a bunch of studies just showing like there is many things within cabbage that make it really beneficial. Cabbage contains the anti-inflammatory polyphenols. It's got a really high percent of ingredients that are sulfur containing, and those have key anti-inflammatory and even antibacterial properties. Then lastly, it has these specific anti-inflammatory enzymes. And it's thought in many cases it's those anti-inflammatory enzymes that are really beneficial for mastitis. One study in particular, it looked at the anti-inflammatory, analgesic or pain-killing and antioxidant effect of topical cabbage. In the study, they were actually using a cabbage extract, but what they found, it had marked or equivalent anti-inflammatory properties to the NSAIDs, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So yeah, this stuff, cabbage, which can do no harm and a whole lot of good, was comparable to this stuff, this ibuprofen, which can do a whole lot of harm. You can't package up cabbage in a pill form like a drug and make $1 bazillion. You sure do that with ibuprofen. So how do you use this cabbage, you may be wondering? We'll start out by peeling off a healthy-ish looking cabbage leaf, aka this. Cabbage leaf on the counter, handy dandy rolling pin, and we're gonna crush the cabbage. You're gonna break down, and in particular, you're gonna release those enzymes, because those are the things that are gonna help heal our wounds in our dog or cat. It's gonna naturally take away inflammation. So we got some crushed looking cabbage. Doesn't take very long. Oh, let's test it on a poodle. When it's crushed, you can once again feel it actually feels moist on the underside where I crushed it. So that's what we're gonna apply topically onto our pet. Poodle, thanks for being the demonstration dog again. I'm gonna hold that for probably 2 minutes. Similar to applying the potato, we're gonna apply it 4 times a day during an acute situation. Long term, twice a day. Do that for 7 to 10 days. See if it's beneficial or not. This cabbage leaf, it would go a long way. I could just take a teeny section, crush it, apply this topically, cut up a little section each day. Do that for 10 days. What do you think, Tula? I know when our kids were young and my wife was breastfeeding, was engorged. I mean, what do you use? Just apply a cabbage leaf. Clearly that's not my issue. But say I had a wound on my skin. I seem to pretty have wounds. I cut myself here yesterday. Maybe you can see right there, this gash in here. Corner of my finger. I could just wrap this cabbage leaf on there. Leave that on. Number one, it's going to take away pain and inflammation. Potentially speed healing. Just from the lowly cabbage. Then number 3, coming from bees and coconut. This candle, it's made of beeswax. And this oil comes from coconut oil. Beeswax, it's a rich source of natural esters. It contains propolis residue. It's got some great hydrophilic properties. So because of that, it's anti-inflammatory, has some antimicrobial properties, and it can also even help our dogs, our cats that have secondary allergies, all this skin inflammation. It's a natural product for what our bees are producing, and it also makes a great base for any topical cream. So yes, beeswax, that's our base. Coconut oil, it has an array of different positive medicinal ingredients. We know that it's anti-inflammatory. We know that it's antibacterial. We know that it has pro-wound healing properties. One fairly recent study, specifically looking on wound healing, showed that topical coconut oil was really effective in improving the rate of wound healing. Number 1, by increasing collagen cross-linking. That's essentially the scar tissue that's forming, that's pulling that wound together. And secondarily, at high antioxidant enzyme activity. So meaning the wounds were then filling in. There's increased epithelial or skin surface cell activity. So get yourself a pot. The coconut oil, we're putting in 2 tablespoons. Okay, 2 tablespoons in our pot. Okay, any extra on you? Just great for your skin. Just rub it in. Okay, ingredient number 2, the beeswax, 1 teaspoon. Smells really good. Smells like honey. Turn your stove on medium, on with your pot. We're gonna heat this until it melts. It's gonna take approximately 5 minutes. Here's our melted coconut beeswax. I'm gonna pour this into a small jar. Ta-da. There's our coconut beeswax mix. And we're gonna cool this in the fridge. Time's elapsed, actually about 20 minutes. Our cream is set, ready for use. Tula has reluctantly agreed to be our demonstration video dog. Beeswax and coconut oil, looks really good. And if your dog or cat happens to lick it, it's completely safe. We're gonna apply it topically to her left nostril. You doing that twice a day, little poodle. Twice a day, 7 to 10 days, or as needed. And that poodle, I think, is gonna be the best of our 3 options. Beeswax and coconut. And it smells so good. I almost need it. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets of lesser known skin remedies for dogs and cats. Click up there to subscribe, hit the bell to sign up for notifications, and when you click that link directly in the box below, I can send you a copy of my free book.